Aloha all. This is Samana with Unconventional Insights. This is my number 16 podcast, the last week of Libra and our theme of relationship and partnership. And I want to offer a few things. First off, the topic is going to be healing from challenging relationships so that we could move on, so that we could grow, all of that. Again, that's very significant. We've been talking about relationships, but so many of us get stuck in the past, or we don't clear it out, or we think, okay, I want a new face, a new circumstance, and everything will change. If we don't do our work, guess what? It's not going to change. It's just a new face, same issues. So I do want to share with my audience, because this is the type of girl I am. I often teach and counsel from my own experience because having a conscious life, meditating, and being deep, being reflective, really wanting to show up and be present in all I do gives me more insight than anything I could ever ask for. So this, over the last couple weeks, so the time of Libra, I'm born a Libra, as I shared before. If you know more about astrology, so basically I'm a 12th house sun, which means every time that it's Libra, I'm in my 12th house, which is kind of like subconscious stuff. So the same circumstance happens. My birthday isn't always this like big party time or joyous. It's always been more personal to me and reflective. And because it's 12th house, and I often know that it's a time that many things come up from my past, and it feels like everything is more amplified in my day-to-day life. And what I've learned in my awareness is when something is arising, I'm aware that that's what's happening, and it's not necessarily time to act on it yet when it's still sticky and unconscious, and I just know something's happening. And oftentimes when we're in relationship or we're with someone that we live with or we're close with or a friend, and we start like spewing off to them or projecting on someone or getting angry with someone, and all of the unconscious behaviors we do because it just feels so uncomfortable inside, where if we could just learn to do our daily self-care tools and wait until there's enough clarity that we can express, if it has to do with a person or express to a friend or family member, someone we care about, with more clarity instead of just the negative spin on it. So at least I've learned that. And what I find is when this discomfort is coming up from within, something from our past, it usually means that we have created, as I've said in other podcasts, enough stability in our life, either emotionally, mentally, spiritually, or all of them, that this past can come up, and perhaps a person or a circumstance in our present is triggering this, and it's an opportunity to heal. And so, if we can see that the high road to take would be to notice the symptoms of discomfort, of discontent, and to learn to ask ourselves, what new need is evolving inside? What is coming up? And look at that instead of reacting in the moment because it's so uncomfortable. It's confusing and sticky, and it's mud, is what it really feels like. But you will get moments of clarity. In my meditation, when I work out at the gym, those are my two greatest moments throughout the day that I get so much insight, so many flashes and revelations where I kind of see how it all works together. And I make certain I do those every day. Even if I take a day off, because I usually only work out 6 days, I will do some jump squats or something. I do some type of exercise or movement or cardio at home so that I could get my blood flowing and my brain activated with clarity. And then in all of those moments is when I allow myself to see, okay, what is happening? What is happening here? And I start to look at it. So I wanted to offer that. That happened with me. And I waited until I had enough clarity, and then I journaled a lot, because that's another tool I use, that I can actually read what I wrote after I wrote it, because oftentimes until we have someone who's deeply listening to us in front of us without blocking us or fixing us or an agenda, and we often don't have that, or we don't have it in the moment we need it, then journaling becomes our best friend, because that we get out uncensored, and it really helps us get clarity in that. So I hope that helps some of you out there. Okay, back to healing from challenging relationships so we can move on. So we are, David Garrison and myself are co-leading an intensive relationship. We call it Be a Relationship Architect workshop in November. I am so excited about this. Like, we are putting hours into this thing. This is the most exceptional workshop I have ever seen, and I have done many workshops throughout my years, and this is exceptional. And we are only charging $350 for these 2 days from 10 to 5, November 16th and 17th. We're only taking 12 people. Lunch is included, a healthy lunch, and I guarantee everyone's going to be given a contract that we're going to fill out. We're going to do many interactives, one-on-one, group interactives. We have so many exercises that we will experience. So there's process there, there's awakening, there's so much insight and clarity that I'm very excited about this. So any of you not living in Austin and wanting to come to Austin, I do Airbnb, contact me. I have a good price on rooms if you want to treat yourself or you and your partner. This is for singles or couples. I already have one woman who's been married 20 years. She wants to do it without her husband. And then I have some singles in various ages from 20, 30, 40, 50. It keeps whoever shows up, however it speaks to you, we're there for that. But one of the things when I counsel someone or during workshops is we cannot create a new relationship without healing from a past relationship. So that heart was open and there is scar tissue there. How about working that scar tissue off? All the years of my having my day spas and working with massage therapy and having my school, it's like you have to work through that scar tissue to get circulation going so that the body can heal. It's the same thing with the heart. We want to reopen that heart so that we can start feeling. So, when a meaningful relationship ends, albeit our choice or not, we're often left in an acute state of emotional crisis. Emotionally, when this traumatic event occurs and we experience loss or death of someone we deeply care about, this creates a healing crisis, or I call this an emotional storm. An emotional storm is when it's that mud, when it's that chaos, when everything just feels so bad and we don't have clarity. And this is how this feels when someone leaves us, again, through choice or through their choice, or even our choice. There are times we break off the relationship and it's still uncomfortable. So I'm going to bring up a couple points. So there are times I've worked with people that ending a relationship is so overwhelming to them that they find they actually can't function. They can't work, they can't get out of bed, they can't care for themselves. And this isn't just that initial 5 days or a week or two. This ends up continuing. And if this continues for months, and unfortunately with some even years, I have known many people that go to doctors and end up resorting to antidepressants. Now, I'm going to say a couple things about this because I actually, at a point in my life, had to take a very mild antidepressant. I did it for 6 months because, again, I could not function in my life, and I saw that it kept me even. But when I went to a meditation retreat and saw the first day that I couldn't deepen to really get to like feeling my body and feeling what's happening, where here I'm thinking this antidepressant wasn't doing anything. I didn't feel an effect of a drug. But when I saw what it prevented me from doing, from deepening into my own experience, therefore gaining my own knowledge, I ended it that day. But I have known people, clients, compassionately, I say this, but they're on antidepressants for years, even teenagers, and in their 20s, these doctors prescribe it way too quickly. So I'm saying two different folds here. If you know you need help, get an authority, a counselor, someone that you believe in. Myself, others out there that specialize in grief and healing and relationships and all those things, and self-care tools to get you back on order. If you need something to help so you can function, antidepressants are an angle, but that can cause side effects and a dependency, and as I said, it may prevent you from deepening the ability to drop into your own experience, your own feeling. There are other supplements that are very helpful for that emotional storm. One of them is motherwort, not St. John's wort. This is specifically motherwort. And I had a wonderful naturopath in Maui years ago tell me, think of it as mother in a bottle. And I have given that to many clients, many students, many friends, and I always keep some on hand, because if I wake up and this doesn't really happen much anymore, but if I'm having a challenging time, I'll take some of the tincture. They have it in capsules and they have it in tincture, and I'm sure Amazon has it. So motherwort is very good for feeling like you have the support you need. Another one is Rescue Remedy. That is a Bach flower remedy. And that, again, no side effects with these. It just helps to even you and help you feel. And there is a homeopathic for deep grief called Ignatia Amara. And that one, I have used that one also. I have given that to many people. Now, whenever you're using homeopathic, coffee will cancel it. So drink your coffee first and take this a couple hours after, and then it will help. So there are many things you can do that are not going to interfere or cause a dependency that will help you get through this time. Plus, you need to do your emotional self-care tools. So, now let's talk about this. So if the grief or paralysis or feeling of non-functioning has been around, as I said, more than 6 months or a year, then that initial Band-Aid of these antidepressants or these supplements are now becoming a crutch and a permanent way of living. You need to do your work. I have seen other people that they prevent their emotional growth by masking it with drugs, alcohol, distractions, just keep moving. Again, our realities are distorted through a veil of untruths. We do not want that. This is what I've learned over and over again. I will tell you the deepest pain, the most painful thing you can ever imagine, that cuts you to the bone. It has a very short fuse. It is more our mind afraid that it will take over and consume us and be forever than it is to understand that it is a short fuse. If we can just meet it, if we can just embrace it and accept that pain, we will see inside there are lessons, there is growth, there is an opportunity to be different and new here. So, many exist for years of masking their pain and their process and never heal to the point of being able to create a new successful relationship. And I said this before. You can create a new relationship, but a successful relationship cannot come until you learn from your past experiences what not to create again. Our workshop will help you with that. Another plug. Anyways, I believe in living life through all the intensity, good and bad, with our eyes open, is what I will tell clients. Meaning, when we have to review, it's okay. Just do it so that you can see more about it. Life is a classroom. We're here to learn and grow. And we often grow more through pain and loss than times of ease, and it's just human nature. It's through the loss of a loved one due to death or ending that we begin searching for the light on our own to fill the now darkened space within. We seek new experiences previously we would have been against, and often we start feeling healthy and exercise because we are going to look happening because we are back on the market again. I just had that talk with a friend this weekend saying after the holidays he's going to get into shape, and again, it's like a fish hook. We got to present that body. Now, I believe that even when you meet the relationship to stay healthy together and encourage each other, let's go to the gym, let's go to yoga, let's go play tennis, let's go play miniature golf, let's go for a run, and let you take turns making a healthy meal, like even 2 times a week, something like that. But encourage each other to live a healthy lifestyle, because once you find the love of your life, don't you want it to last forever? Wouldn't you love that? Do you want them to die or get sick or any of that? And I'll tell you, bad diet creates bad thoughts, creating bad emotions, and nothing's going to work. So, live the righteous lifestyle. Okay. I have counseled and taught for so many years, and I do not have an official university degree, even though I have been teaching and counseling for over 27 years. I have so much experience. I have written my books. I just need to publish them. I have worked with many, many clients one-on-one and in workshops, and we've gotten transformation, total awakening, and that is what. And much of it is through my own walk, is through my own, as I said, walking consciously with my eyes wide open. I would say to students that I have had my heart broken so many times, and when someone is younger or less mature, they say, I do not want to go towards that relationship because I don't want to get my heart broken. And I hear that and I think you're cheating yourself from life. Because a broken heart, in its highest way, is basically, it is dissolving the boundaries of the known heart to expand your ability to hold more, to feel more, to expand its capacity to love, to feel. So keep breaking that heart until it is boundless, until you are so expansive that your heart is beyond your body. Isn't that why we're here as humans, I think? I think it is. Okay, so now, learning to balance our mind, heart, and body while going through healing a challenging relationship. Again, you must feel the pain in order to discover the gifts that are offered inside. So, a true honoring of someone that left us with a gaping hole in our heart is to see the blessings and lessons we've learned from the encounter of them in our lives. When someone dies, the greatest thing we could do is to see how they have changed us forever. When a partner leaves through divorce or we're done with it, either your choice or theirs, again, in time asking, how have I been changed forever? Because in the question is the journey, as I have said many times. So that question, when we could come to that, how am I changed forever? Not all the years I've lost, not all the time I've wasted. None of that. That's all an illusion. But to see, what have I gained? How have I grown? How am I different? This is what we need to focus on. Each person that comes in our life is a specific recipe. It's a specific alchemy that brings with it unique and specific results, sometimes not pleasant and sometimes so blissfully gratifying that it keeps us hungering for more. Now, when it is so gratifying and we get so attached and so needy and so dependent on this other person, this is what begins to cause an imbalance Because what is happening is we're looking at that other person to fill and saturate our deepest needs instead of seeing we fill and saturate our deepest needs with companionship next to us, with someone that is also filling their needs, that also knows how to speak their truth. And you're doing this together for support. This is the goal. When someone makes us feel better because of who they are, it is them that changed our life, yet we are here to integrate. Now that we have been shown that, whatever that is that we wanted, how do we live with that? How is that shown in our day-to-day life? How is that new in our body? How is it shown in our actions? Oftentimes, when a relationship ends and we feel depleted, angry, and confused, we try to block out all the good that took place because it's easier to focus on what didn't work, because anger is easier to access than it is to focus on all that we'll miss, all that will no longer be, because then the heart is engaged and there's sadness and there's loneliness and there's that loss. Yet, when we go into that deep grief, we see that by accepting this pain and allowing it to carve us and alter us, that it will change who we are. It will give us, when we are done crying, when the storm is over, what happens outside after we have an incredible storm, lightning, thunder, rain, all of this happening, and the next day, the next morning, at the newness of light of day, it is so silent and still and clear and peaceful. The air is sweet. It is more pure than we've ever known before. That is exactly what happens when we embrace our grief in these relationships and see, yes, this is what I got. This is initially what attracted me to this person. Again, even if they left you through death or because they just left, it is not about that part. That is when you're dealing with ego. Why aren't they here now? Why don't I have them? But if you look at the spiritual implications, how did they alter my heart? This is what. So we want to dig deeper and investigate. What was your part in the relationship? What was your initial attraction? What did you present to the person? How did you meet the relationship? These are all very good questions. What did you bring to the relationship? What did you specifically offer the relationship that makes you unique? What did you expect from the relationship? And do you still have those expectations? Because expectations are the seed of suffering, according to the Buddha. What qualities from the relationship did you enjoy most? What qualities were most challenging? What did you resist, or when would your resistance come up? What would happen in the partnership that you would notice your no would come out without any give, without any, okay, maybe no. Just know, like, what was that about you that was too afraid to open your heart and be new? What are you able to offer in the next relationship that you weren't able to offer before the healing of this relationship? That is an incredible question to know. Now, I also have a term I've often said, because I've seen it in relationships that I've drawn to me through my years, that when it's a very intense connection, immediate attraction and connection, or you feel like you're home, you just meld with that person, I know instantly that major issues are going to come up, because my phrase is, the greater the love, the greater the lesson. So I don't know if it's God or the universe, but whoever created that hook knew what they were doing, because I know when I am that enthralled, open, ecstatic with someone in my life, I also know it's going to have the opportunity to bring up past hurts. And let's hope that both of us in a new relationship allow that sensitivity, that honesty, to be able to express that and see that it needs to arise and pass at times. It just needs to be embraced, noticed, and it moves on like a child. A child after a skinned knee, and we give them a quick hug, an acknowledgement, I'm sorry you were hurt. And the second you do that with a child, just like our emotions, they run off and play. Band-Aid and all. That is just like us. Our emotions are like children. They need to be embraced. They need to be acknowledged of what they are and felt. And when they're shared with another person that honors them and is tender, that is a miracle. That is beautiful. So, the challenging relationships, the painful part of relationships, is it is designed to carve away all that is dead and false in us. And it also shows us what has changed, what is new about us. That's the most important part. So, let me see. With all intense relationships, we have the opportunity to see a way, to have a new way to see old patterns and open our hearts and minds. I believe we are all to break the boundaries of our hearts many times, as I said. So oftentimes we, as I was saying, we respond in anger because it basically is an easier emotion to express. Oftentimes when people have anger as their default mode, and they usually learned that from early childhood, it was a way of protecting themselves in unsafe circumstances or environments. So anger is right there. It's our quickest tool. It is not our most conscious tool, but it is designed to protect ourselves. So now this anger, or this shell that is around us, that is our mechanism preventing us from insight, is also preventing us from feeling the hurt, from feeling the fear, and ultimately seeing the acceptance, seeing the insights, seeing the healing. When we could see that anger and control is really a superficial layer masking sadness and fear, and we meet it all at a raw level, then true heartfelt healing occurs and growth occurs. Then we begin with a new invigorating energy, which is my favorite part. After we've grieved, after the storm, that fresh early morning, that new energy, we are ready to call in a new partner, we're ready to evolve, we're ready to bring in someone who is closer to mirroring our new awareness and our new arising needs. Each person we draw to ourselves, each partnership, I have found, is closer to meeting my heart's desire than the one before. I always said it was like the old Led Zeppelin Stairway to Heaven. Each relationship is a stairway closer to heaven. It's a step up. It's more and more and more. So when you have trouble leaving a relationship that is no longer serving you or meeting your needs, remember and trust and think back that every relationship, hopefully, if you're on a path of growth, that you find that each time it meets a little more of you. As your clarity comes, the mirroring of the person in front of you will show that clarity, show that attraction, that like attracts like. So, do your work, and the rewards are merely ultimate love and ultimate growth. How can you ask for anything more than that? So, I hope that this was insightful to some of you. Those questions, please reflect on those. And I also want to say next week starts Scorpio. That is my favorite time. My rising sign is Scorpio. I have lots of Scorpio on my chart. Scorpio is about sex, death, and transformation. So for the next month, we're going to use those topics. We're going to talk about lots of Scorpio stuff, and we're going to have great transformation. So now, one last time, what I offer, I do one-on-one counseling on FaceTime, Skype, phone, any of that. I charge $100 an hour or 2 sessions for $150, so that's $75. You could do that in 2 different sessions. You could contact me by my phone or text 808-283-7587. You can also email me, Samana, S-A-M-A-N-A, at spaluna, spaluna.com. And my website, that is under construction but still available, it's getting better and better, help from 2 great men in my life, is spaluna, spaluna.com, soon to be Unconventional Insights, and the home of Samana Benedetti. So I love that. Now, the other things I offer, so for my estheticians, in the month of October, I have a microneedling and nano needling workshop in Austin, South Austin, on the 28th, Monday from 10 to 3, and that is $195. That does come with certification, and that's a lecture, a demo, and give and receive. And microneedling is not legal in many states for estheticians, yet nano is, so I will show you both so you can adapt to your clients and your state and your legalities. I do want everyone to know that that same class as of January 1st goes up to $250. I am underpriced of everyone around. I still want to keep it low, but I have to raise it a little bit. On December 2nd, on Monday, I have a lash extension class coming up. That includes a kit that's enough for 20 to 40 sets, and that is $400. I do need a kit deposit of $200 to hold your space by November 15th. And as of January, that class goes up to $600, so save the money now. And I continue to offer my certification for Total Client Renovation Certification for professionals, personal trainers, estheticians, massage therapists, life coaches, all of that. This is a 30-day certification. I have several people doing this right now. I love this. I only do 5 in a month. I charge $500 right now, and as of January, I'm going up to $750 on this. This will change your life, I guarantee. Soon you will see my testimonials of the people that have already gone through my certification on my website. And we connect via FaceTime for an hour and a half to 2 hours, once a week for 4 weeks. I will send you, after you make your payment, you will get my specific cleanse and information, and we have 100% text, TEXT support while you're going through this. It's challenging up to the first 5th day, and then we're going to go through physical, mental, and emotional detox, and we're going to do some exercises and some different guided meditations, and I'm going to give you so many tools and tricks and so much information that I will tell you to record it and take notes, because it is enough to change lives for all of your clients in the future. So whatever you specialize in, if it's nutrition or if it's personal training or esthetician and you want to go deeper, because that was my path. It started as an esthetician, and through the years I'm like, but they come to me with problems. I want to help them. I want to go deeper. So I have learned all of this, and I prefer to give the holistic, help everyone on every level so that they can excel to their optimum potential. We will do this again in-house for 6 people in Austin, South Austin, the end of January. I don't have that date yet, but we will do that. And when I do classes in my house, I only do up to 10 to 12 people, depending on the class. So I don't do too many more. For that one-on-one detox, spiritual reboot, that I'm only going to take 6 at a time. But one-on-one, again, we'll do that. So if you have any questions on anything, feel free to contact me. Please share my podcast, and it is always a pleasure. I hope you have gained great insight during this time of partnership and relationship to yourself and to others in your life that matter. And I look forward to Scorpio. I believe that starts on Monday. I'm very excited. So aloha all, and I look forward to continuing to share insights with you. Blessings.